Good morning, everyone. Should we get started, Greg? Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Well, welcome, everyone. Welcome to Voice Day. Welcome to Furman. I'm Grant Knox. I am a voice teacher here. It's very strange talking on this microphone. I am a tenor. I teach voice. I run the opera program, and I am coordinator of the voice program as well. So I wear lots of different hats here at Furman, and we are thrilled to welcome you today and share with you what makes Furman so special, and some things that will hopefully help you as you go into your college auditions this year. So I've got a little bit of a presentation, and then we're going to hear some of our current students sing, and then if we've got some time at the end, we'll leave some time for questions and just some casual conversation. Sound good? Actually, before we start, before I go into my little presentation, can you guys just go around the room and introduce yourselves? I think I know most of you, but...
I'm Haley Glenn.
And you're from?
I'm from Greenville.
Greenville.
Technically Simpsonville.
Great.
And I go to the Fine Arts Center.
And
I'm a senior.
You're a senior. Right.
Okay. I'm Lauren Zimmerman. I'm from
Where are you from?
I'm from Greenville.
Great.
I'm a senior and I go to Fine Arts.
Great.
Okay. I'm Emma Weiss. I am also from Greenville, not Simpsonville. And I'm a freshman, and I do the Fine Arts Center for students. Okay, that's all.
That's good. Thank you.
I did this one.
Oh, hi. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Hi, I'm Nora Bailey. I'm a junior at the Fine Arts Center, and I'm from Greenville.
Good.
Hey y'all, I'm Charlie. I'm a senior. I'm proud to be from Simpsonville. My favorite place
You like it?
Hi, I'm Nala Fisher. I'm from Greenville. I also go to Fine Arts Center and I'm a senior.
Great.
Hi, I'm Anderson Moore. I'm a senior at Furman High School.
Wonderful. Great.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I am a junior at Dorman High School.
And where?
Dorman High School,
Okay.
Spartanburg.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Hey guys, I'm Will. I'm a senior at Norcross High School.
Great. And we'll introduce everyone else in just a few minutes. Great. Well, welcome everyone. Okay. Here's a little video about.
Something brought us here, to a time and a place where your decisions can actually drive change. Where extra teachers become ultra-curricular. Where a private institution serves a greater public mission. At Furman University, opportunity is all around you. So take our commitment, provide with everything you're capable of, and the world will be forced to take place.
So, our vocal program at Furman is an all undergraduate program. We have 3 degree options for students. The Bachelor of Music degree, which is a conservatory level degree. It's the same degree you get at Eastman or Oberlin or any conservatory. We have that in performance. We have a Bachelor of Music degree in church music. We have the Bachelor of Music in Education, choral music education. And then we have a Bachelor of Arts degree, BA. So when you come to Furman, everyone starts out exactly the same, in the same classes. So you don't need to know when you come in whether or not you want to be a performance major, or an education major, or a Bachelor of Arts major. You can start out sort of not knowing, and that's okay. Because everybody at the beginning takes the same classes, okay? By your junior year, the performance majors take some additional classes in special topics like vocal pedagogy, lyric diction, vocal lit, opera, opera workshop. And then those Bachelor of Arts people, the ones that choose to do the Bachelor of Arts degree, have a little bit more flexibility in the second half of their time with Furman, so that they can have a secondary focus if they wanted to do a double degree or something like that. I will say that more and more we have students that want to double major. However, so many of our students now want to have that Bachelor of Music degree and something else. So we're finding now that students are doing the Bachelor of Music degree in performance, or teachers of music, I suppose, and also something else. That's more difficult because the Bachelor of Music degree is full, but we've had students over the years, especially the last few years, that have really been able to make that work. Don't you guys agree? Yeah. So, just speaking from my own personal students in my studio right now, I've got, in the senior class, I have a Bachelor of Music performance person that's just doing that, and I've got a Bachelor of Music performance that's also doing economics. It's really hard. And then I've got a Bachelor of Music and Performance that's doing German, which is really smart to do. And then in my junior class, I've got Bachelor of Music Performance and Pre-Med, and Bachelor of Music Performance and Religion, and then another Bachelor of Music Performance just straight on. So, again, I think one of the many benefits of a Furman education is that at Furman, you can do those things. We encourage it, and we support it. And other schools, I know from my own personal experience at Eastman, I went to a conservatory. I had one friend that was a double major in economics and performance, and he had to travel 20 minutes to another campus to take his economics classes. So at Furman, it's not only possible, but it's convenient. Because everything's right here. And that's very much supported by our faculty. So we like to think of ourselves as a conservatory-level training within the walls of a rigorous academic institution. That means at Furman, you take classes in things other than music, and that's built into the degree. Again, I come from a different background. I studied only music in college, and having come now to Furman, I see what we offer as a huge benefit in developing a very well-rounded musician and a very well-rounded person. Look at all of our smiling faces. Oh my goodness. What a group. This is our voice faculty. Many of them are here right now. You will meet most of them throughout the day. Not all, but most. Again, I'm Grant Knox. Next to me there is one of my former teachers, Dr. Hugh Floyd. He's a Furman graduate, and he's conductor of the Furman Singers and the Furman Chamber Choir. Lisa Barksdale, say hi, Lisa. So Lisa is a wonderful soprano. She's here, and she's also a speech-language pathologist. So we feel lucky to have her among us. Wonderful teacher, and has turned out some wonderful singers over the years. Craig Price, who's put together this wonderful event for us today. Say hi, Craig. Dr. Allison Trainer, who's a wonderful coloratura soprano. Dr. Trainer is not here today, but I know many of you have met her before. We have Katie Knauer, and then our newest faculty member, Dr. Brahman Corbet. Say hi. Yeah. So she comes to us from Texas, so we're lucky to have her as well. Hey, here's a little clip about Furman. Music.
Furman is a singular place. I learned how to be a soloist by singing in an ensemble.
Wonderful environment, fabulous colleagues, nice facilities, and have enjoyed nearly every minute of it. It's a dream of mine since I was younger to come to Furman.
The rich tradition in Furman of ensemble singing, it sharpened my mind and it reaffirmed my musical instincts. For me, that is the quintessential element of this music program. It's just as I remember, but the Furman students are just as bright and just as sparkly and musical as when I was a student here. So it's been fantastic.
Most enjoyable and most fulfilling for me is working with the caliber of students that we've had come through here. It's just been quite a remarkable journey. I think a music education at Furman traditionally has been unique in a very, very rigorous liberal arts environment. I can't think of any other small liberal arts colleges anywhere that has a completely student-populated orchestra, chorus, and solos. It's a great opportunity, and by the time most of our singers graduate, they'll have the opportunity to sing with the orchestra, and I think that gives them kind of a leg up.
I can really engage myself in who I think I am as an artist and musician. I'll always bring that drive back with me. It feels like home.
The music program at Furman is a truly special place.
It shaped every facet of what I am and what I stand for as a musician, and I'm so grateful for that experience.
That was made during a performance of Haydn's Creation that we did, I don't know how many years ago.
By the fourth year, the light.
Uh-oh. Craig, what did I do? I messed it up. What did I do? Sorry. I know, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Would it be bullshit to keep?
What's that?
Possibly.
Sorry, Craig. So that was during a performance of Haydn's Creation a few years ago, and we were able to, what did you say, Tom?
I just asked them to keep the
Okay, hold. There it is.
That's where you need to be.
That's where I need to be. That's where I need to be. I think I need some more coffee. So, anyway, that's one example of a big collaborative performance that we've done recently. But we really pride ourselves, for a college, for a school of our size, we were able to do some amazing things. Haydn's Creation is massive. So we did basically the full thing 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. We do the Messiah every other year. We're doing the Messiah this coming December with the orchestra, and choir and student solos, which is, again, something unique that undergraduate singers will get to do solos with the orchestra at a 2,000-seat theater. It's pretty remarkable, actually. So we'll do that in December. what other, we've done Foray Requiem recently, King David, we've done lots of other things I can't think of right now. But lots of opportunities for undergraduate singers. You're not competing against doctoral students or master's level students or artist diploma students. All of the opportunity goes to our undergraduates. And that includes our opera productions. So, speaking of, we call our opera program, okay, thank you. We call our opera program lyric theater. The reason we call it lyric theater is because we don't just do opera, we don't do just grand opera, although we do that as well. We also do music theater, and we do operetta. And over the last 8 years since I've been here, we've done sort of a rotation of these things. So I'll just go through some of these photos. This is Brigadoon. It's a wonderful production. My very first year at Furman. Magic Flute. We did that in English. The Medium and Dido and Aeneas we did as a double bill. I love that picture. Hansel and Gretel. We had a male witch, which was fun, to say the least. It was a great show, too. Here's a little clip from Hansel and Gretel. It was a big old orchestra, wasn't it? Yeah. That was conducted by Dr. Tom Joyner. So you can see that our main stage productions are really as professional a level as we can manage. So we have professional stage management, professional lighting designers, big sets. If you haven't been in McAllister, it's a massive space with a full orchestra bed. So it takes a lot of set to fill that stage. So professional lighting, sets, costumes, the whole thing. But of course, all student performers. So it's a really wonderful opportunity for our students to get on stage and do their thing. She Loves Me. This is a show we just did. It's probably the last, well, we did an outdoor production of Into the Woods but the last thing we've done sort of traditionally before the pandemic. HMS Pinafore, we did that with a big full chorus, and I'll play just a short clip of that. This is to feature our chorus. Oops.
Shall make us one return for none
That's my famous operetta weave, known throughout the land. Sorry. Who said that? It was very difficult. The problem is, of course, is they're moving like this, and you actually have to sing, on beat. So Dr. Floyd did that, and it took some doing, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. That's such a fun show. We had such a blast doing that. Huge chorus commitment in that. There we go. Speaking of choral music, at Furman, we have a rich history of choral singing. So our Furman Singers is our flagship choral ensemble. You can see it's a large group. I'm not sure how many, Dr. Floyd isn't here, how many singers are in the group this year, but it's 60s, near 70, I think, this year. Nice sized group. As I said, when we do large productions, all of our choral ensembles combine for our big oratorios with orchestra. This is probably a Messiah performance that you see up in the corner here. The Furman Singers tours every spring break, not for the entire spring break, but for a portion of it. And then occasionally they do a European tour. So it's been a while since we've done a European tour for obvious reasons, but I think when things are safe to travel again, we'll be doing that. Please. The Furman Singers alumni, our group, is one of the strongest. The strongest. Were you president of? Yeah.
The strongest alumni group in the university.
By the way, I should have said this. On our faculty, this I think should tell you something about Furman and the strength of our graduates. Katie Knauer is a Furman graduate. Lisa Barksdale, Craig, Price, and Dr. Floyd are all Furman graduates, right? It's pretty terrific. We also have a chamber choir, which is an auditions group. It's a smaller group, usually of music majors, but not necessarily. We do have some non-majors occasionally in that group. They do a very, very popular Lessons in Carols service every December. And then we have a women's ensemble called Belle Voci, conducted by Dr. Libby Hamilton. So lots of choral music on our campus. And they're all really fine ensembles. So our alumni are going to the best graduate schools. We're competitive with, I say this all the time, the best students that we have at Furman are competitive with any undergraduate anywhere in the country, in my opinion. And they go on to the top conservatories and schools of music and med school and everywhere else after Furman. So you can see the list of schools, and that's just a few. If you name a school, we've had a student go there fairly recently. These are all fairly recent list of schools there. In competitions, our students do very, very well. As you can see, just in the last, I'd say, 5 years or so, we've had a first place, a second place, and a finalist in the classical singer national competition. This is a couple of years ago with Nats, but you can see for yourself how we've done. We continually have probably the most winners at the state level of any school in our district. Regional winners, national semifinalists, and winners as well at the national level. Our alumni are doing great things. These are just happen to be 3 alums that are sort of at different points in their career, but we're at the Rhine Center in Chicago, the Commerce Program at Covent Garden in London, Santa Fe, Cumber Glass. We have a tenor going into the Palm Beach Opera Commerce Program this year. And then they're seeing leading roles at the Met, Derek Opera Chicago, San Francisco, you name it. So, and then students that are successful on Broadway too, doing things on that side of the aisle. So, lots of good things coming out of Furman for sure. Of course, you know about downtown Greenville. I don't need to talk about that. So I think Craig will talk a little bit more about this today, but just to give you a little glimpse of what the audition at Furman entails, we require 2 pieces, one in English, one can be another song in English, but we prefer something in a different language, either Italian, German, French, or you can do Spanish, Latin, whatever. We prefer things from the classical realm, although we will accept a music theater piece if you really feel that it shows you off better than maybe a classical piece would. Everything has to be memorized, obviously, and performed with piano. This year we will accept recorded auditions, but we will also have live auditions, and we prefer that you come and do a live audition. However, we will accept video auditions as well. As part of the audition, we always test sight singing, so don't be spooked by that. It doesn't have that much of it doesn't weigh so much into acceptance or not, but it's important that we get a full idea of your musical skills. We also test rhythm. We do like a rhythm, ta, 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 and then you ta, ta, ta back. And then we do sort of a pitch memory exercise. So that's sort of the audition. And then at the end of the audition, we usually talk with you and do a little interview with the faculty. So it's pretty laid back, but just so you know, if you decide to audition at Furman, that's what you'll want to be prepared for. We have lots of scholarship opportunities at Furman. Every situation is different. So lots of times, our students receive academic awards and music awards. And those awards at Furman are able to be stacked, which makes for a very competitive scholarship offer. So don't be scared off by the price tag. Furman tries their very best to make it possible financially for students to attend. So we have music scholars. That's different levels of music scholarship depending on your talent level and depending on your audition. And then we have a number of presidential music scholarships that are significant scholarships funded by Gordon and Sarah Herring, who have generously given money to establish this Herring Scholarship Fund. So you can see anybody's eligible for these awards, not just vocalists, but throughout the music program. Okay. These are all from Into the Woods, these pictures. Do we have our singers? Are they? Oh, wow, wonderful. So we're going to hear some singing, which is good. And I will just sort of introduce these people. First of all, we have a wonderful, wonderful pianist, Brent Thunderbird. Here he is. Brent is new to Furman, and he's music director of our theater program right now. We are preparing Don Giovanni for the spring. We're doing it in Italian. It's going to be great. But this is a huge project, as you can imagine, for our undergraduate students. They are learning so much. And but it's the first time that I know of, and maybe you guys can correct me, but it's the first time that a main stage production has been performed in a language other than English. Am I right about that? I think Bruce always did everything. Yeah. So we're excited, to say the least. But rehearsals have already started for that, and we're working on the Italian and getting things up and running. So we're thrilled to have Brent with us this year. It's a huge, huge change for us. Our first singer is Libby Hamilton. Libby is a sophomore performance student. She was at the Governor's School. She's going to be singing Vergebliche Ständchen. This is a song by Brahms, and maybe she wants to tell you about it, but I'll say something. Basically, this is a serenade where this guy is trying to get inside the house to, sweet talk this girl. And so, he's knocking at the door saying, let me in, and she's saying, no, my mom wasn't like that. You need to go home. And so it's this sort of dialogue between these two characters. So, Libby, are you out there? Libby. Libby, you ready? Come on in.
Geh heim zu
Thanks, Libby. Could you hear the different characters in that? Cool. So our next singer is Noah Mulkey. He's also a sophomore. He's a tenor. Noah is singing a strange little song. I love that, by the way. I love these. I was just thinking about all the variety of repertoire. It's great. This is a song by Michael Tippett from a set of 3 songs called Songs for Ariel. It's taken from text from The Tempest by Shakespeare. And I think that's all I'll say about it. Yeah, okay, let me get Noah. Noah? Oh, come on up. So this is Full Fathom 5.
Nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer us see change into something rich and strange. Sing him sorely ring his knell. Ding dong, ding dong. Hark now I hear them. Ding dong bell.
Cool. Okay, now we have something totally different. This is Spleen from Aria Oubliée by Debussy. And this is Addison Ballou, who is a senior soprano. Oh, sorry. Whack. Beautiful song. Okay, and finally, our last singer is John Hoffman, who is a baritone, also a senior, and he's singing from Don Giovanni, Devieni alla finestra. John. Thanks, everybody. Okay, well, that concludes our this first presentation. Do you guys have any questions? Got a few minutes if you want to Anything I can tell you about Furman or? Yes.
So with the music majors, is there like a possibility to get a major in music education and then have a minor or double major in performance?
That's a good question. I mean, the simple, most direct answer is no. I wouldn't want to tell you otherwise, because the music education degree is so packed. And we've been able, so many schools have had to expand that music education degree to 5 years because there's so many education classes that you have to check off to get through the degree. Plus you have to have a semester of student teaching. So we've been able to keep that at a four-year track, 4-year degree. The issue with doing the performance major is that, along with the Bachelor of Music and Education, is that when you're gone that semester for student teaching, that would be the semester that you would do your senior recital. That would be, you would miss certain classes that are required for the performance degree. We have somebody trying to do it now, and I think she's working it out somehow, but it's pretty difficult to do that. What I will say is that our education majors have every opportunity to get on stage and perform and do all of the things that our performance majors get to do. And many times, they'll find ways, let's say, because like diction is required with the education degree, or voice and lit. They find ways to work those classes in if they want to take them. So, I mean, I just think, yeah.
Likewise on the flip.
Exactly.
We had students that primarily did the performance degree, took any extra classes that we could in education, and then later finished their requirements for the state. My sister did this too. She was going to be teaching in Texas, so she waited and did all of the state requirements in that state later, but she received a performance degree here. So there are those options.
Absolutely, and some of our best vocalists and best singers have been, at least in the last 6 or 7 years, have been music education majors. And they've decided, some of them to go on in performance, and then some to go get teaching jobs and do that. So I would say our music education degree here is very strong, and they aren't considered, when it comes to casting and things like that, we consider everybody equal.
Thank you.
You can audition for as
Yeah, exactly.
I
That's
never
right.
had a physics major as a lead.
Yes.
There's students who are currently double majoring in performance, going for theater and performance,
Yes.
as well as some other non-music major. Will they graduate in 4 years?
They will.
Right.
Sometimes that means taking, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, sometimes there's some transfer credits that transfer in. Occasionally they'll take a summer class or a MAX to get an elective credit out of the way. But it's very, very possible to graduate in the 4 years, yes. In fact, in every case, we haven't really had anybody that stayed over the 4 years to get the 2 degrees.
Are we allowed to accidentally stay 5 years?
Oh, yeah.
Oops, I didn't get my 1 credit out of the way.
We don't encourage that.
But it does.
I guess, not very often though in Furman. I mean, most people finish in the 4 years, you know. Yes?
Do you mind discussing a little bit about the minor and then
Oh, sure.
how like you know a lot of people are, or I mean actually I will ask this question because I don't know, but like how many people are
doing like a music, a major in like either performance or education, and then adding that music theater minor on top of it?
So, yeah, that's a great question. The music theater minor is brand new. So, my colleague, my colleague Megan Azar from the theater department and I developed this music theater minor over the last. It's been in the works for about 3 years, and the music theater minor. I mean, I can send you the list of courses. If you're a music major, if you're a performance major, all of your music side of things is taken care of, as you would expect. So you're basically taking a class or two in acting, and then some dance classes. It's very, very possible to do the BM and the music theater minor. It's very, very possible to do the BA and the music theater minor. It's going to be harder to do the education degree with the music theater minor for the reasons that I just said about the education degree. It's just a packed degree. I don't think it's impossible, but it would take some creativity. So the music theater minor is, how many people do we have? We're not sure. This is, at the end of this year, will be our first year of auditioning students for that music theater minor. So we're not sure what that's going to look like in terms of makeup of how many music students will want to do it, how many theater students will want to do it, and how many non-majors will want to do it, because it's also open to non-majors. Anybody on campus can audition for the music theater minor. The requirements change depending on your major. So non-majors have more to do because they're not taking the music classes or the theater classes or the dance classes as part of their major. So the answer to that is I'm not sure. How many people will have in that program? We're going to keep it fairly small at first to see and sort of gauge interest and see how our students adapt to the requirements. Did that answer your question?
Yes, sorry, then I came up with another one.
Yeah, please.
And then the audition process for that, is it after you get into the school?
That's correct. So you cannot audition for the music theater minor until the end of your first year.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because we want students to establish themselves in, whatever major, if it's a theater major, music major, and to get started with those classes first before they dive into the music theater minor. So you would come here, if you were a music major, you come as a music major, BA, BM, doesn't matter. And then at the end of that freshman year, you would do an audition for a panel, which would include me and Megan Azar and probably a dance faculty member. Yeah, well.
Do the Furman Music Scholar and the Presidential Music Scholar awards require different auditions or?
They do not. You're considered for all of those at your audition for Furman. That's right. Yes? Oh.
No problem. No, please. I already got in the question.
Well, we got in the sleep.
Exactly.
Fine. Does Furman help fund like summer programs and opportunities?
Yes. So, I mean, this is one thing, again, that is very unique, I think, about Furman. And you find this less and less with schools across the country. So the Furman Advantage, the benefit for us of the Furman Advantage is that Furman does help support study away, it helps support summer programs. I teach in the summer at Songfest, which is in Los Angeles, and at the Colbert School in Los Angeles, and it's a month long. And I think the last time, in 2019, we didn't have Songfest, obviously, last couple summers. But in 2019, I think we had, I don't know, 9 or 10 Furman students that attended, and Furman paid at least 50% of their tuition, which is a lot. So basically, they paid their housing and their food, and Furman paid their tuition, which is significant. So, I mean, I can list off so many things that Furman has done for our students over the years. I had a student, a mezzo soprano, auditioning for graduate school. She didn't really have the money to go away and do these auditions. And she, of course, she was a wonderfully talented singer. She got auditions at CCM and Eastman and, this, that, and the other. And she really just couldn't afford to do it. And Furman paid for her to fly there, house her, and pay her food. I mean, it was pretty amazing. We had 2 singers. They got into the finals for NATS, well, the semifinals in Las Vegas. I forget what summer that was, but maybe 18. I'm not sure. And Furman paid everything for them to go. Because it looks great for Furman too. So it works, it works both ways. They ended up both getting into the finals and both winning, awards. So I think Furman does that. Let's say that again. Absolutely. Right. I mean, you have to go through a process and apply things, but you have to ask for it, and you have to find out, who to talk to and all of that. But the support is there, absolutely. That's pretty special, actually. Yeah.
This is a little bit of a specific question, but you said for the music education major, there's a semester where you teach. Do you teach at like a high school and you're like an assistant for a chorus?
Yes, you're placed with a high school, and is it always a high school or is it sometimes middle school? Oh, okay, great. Yeah, most of our students have done high schools, but yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, when you're placed with the school, that teacher will assign you duties and sort of, for some people, they've gone in and the conductor of the ensemble said, okay, here you go, here's the music. And then others are more hands-on, and, it just depends on the situation. Yeah.
I will say that a lot of our alumni have wonderful jobs.
Absolutely.
And are quite successful at teaching. They're very competitive when they interview and audition or interview for their jobs.
Yeah.
They're highly sought after, actually.
Yeah.
South Carolina and other states, we've got them all over the place. They're wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. When you, or if you, okay, if you get into the voice, or the music program here, how does, okay, your instructor, your teacher, do you choose, do they choose, do you get, everyone, are you the same person all year?
That's a great question. So you do get to work, you will work with all of our voice faculty in one way or another. So if you're in Lisa's studio, you would still work with me in opera productions, opera workshop. We would work with Dr. Corbet and, let's say, their diction or freshman topics. So yes, you get to work with all of us throughout your time at Furman. in different classes and different circumstances. In terms of your private applied teacher, there are a number of ways we do that. We all have a certain load in terms of how many students we can have in our studios, and that varies based on what classes we're teaching and how many students we have that are staying and leaving and blah, 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 blah. But we send out an email or some kind of correspondence to all incoming students the summer before you come to Furman, and we ask if you have a preference. We do not guarantee spots in studios because there are a lot of, it's like putting together a puzzle, you know, and all of our faculty are fantastic. So we do try to honor a request. So we'll ask for like first and second choice, and most likely you'll get your first or second choice, but sometimes we say, well, this person would just be great with blah, 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 blah. And we sort of know that from years of teaching and experience, and sometimes we just put somebody where we think they need to go. But most of the time we do honor those requests. Yeah.
And then, is it based off of like, do you have female students, or is it mainly like, do you mainly teach males? Is it?
Oh, me personally?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I teach women. I do, I know that's, but, you know, in terms of preference, I mean, sometimes women like to study with women, sometimes men like to study with men, and then sometimes people don't have a preference at all, either way. Yeah, I mean, we all teach all voice types, and in fact, for me, as a applied teacher, it's very important for me not to teach a whole studio of tenors. For obvious reasons. So, I mean, like right now, I've got, I only have one soprano, but I have, you know, 3 mezzos, 3 or 4 baritones, and 3 tenors, or something like that. So I think we all like to have balance in the studio because it helps us to be well-rounded teachers. So, and it gives us a variety of repertoire. You're not hearing, you know, same voice type all day long.
I also like to say I find it a privilege to teach with all of those faculty here
Yeah.
and have a lot of respect for all that they offer. I have that privilege right now teaching the education class, and all the students have to observe other teachers, and so I get to read the reports from these lessons that they're observing, and everyone has fresh, healthy approaches to all their students, teaching all that core important things, breadth, alignment, resonance,
Right.
all the elements, all of our teachers teach exceptionally well. So, I have a lot of respect for my colleagues.
Yeah, and what we do at Furman, I mean, because we are undergraduate only, so much of what we do is teaching function and foundation, and building that foundation for a lifetime of singing. So we don't want you to peak at age 20. We want to build a strong foundation so you can sing, you know, your entire life. And I think we're all like-minded in that approach. Yeah.
So I know this is Wednesday, but say I wanted to get like a BA, what would be my options if I wanted to still like take lessons or classes or be in the orchestra with my students?
If you wanted to do, say that again, if you wanted to do a what degree?
If I wanted
String, still play the violin. Yeah, she still wants to play the violin if she were to be doing PA in voice.
Oh, absolutely. That's very, very possible. We've had many students that have done that. Yeah.
I studied trumpet and played in the bands almost my entire time here.
I have a lot of my
But he was a voice teacher.
But I was
a second instrument.
Yeah, we encourage that. It only helps your musicianship. And, I mean, there are some things, conflicts in terms of scheduling, sometimes with orchestra versus a choir, but all of that can be worked out. But absolutely, it's very possible.
Elizabeth Bishop, that was director, seems that would get up from her seat in the orchestra and sing
I love that. It's great. Yes.
how often do you have private lessons?
Every week. Yeah, and some teachers divide, I mean, it depends on your teacher, but some teachers divide it into 2.5 hours a week, so you would see your teacher twice a week. Or some people do it all as, 1 hour. And then, in addition to that, Haley, you also, at Furman, which is unique, you get time with a pianist every week, outside of your lesson. So you get coaching to prepare your language, your music, your musicality, all of those things too. Yes?
Talk a little bit about community outreach performances for
Sure, we do as much of that as we can. Our students are incredibly busy with the things that they need to do here on campus, which include their academics, all the performances and things that are going on in the music department, or music juries. Once you get here, you'll see our Furman students are very, very busy. But we do community outreach. We go to Woodlands, which is just right here. We do lots of things there for them. They come to our performances. We go there and sing and play for them as well. So there are those opportunities too. Absolutely. I think we need to wrap up.
Yeah.